There have been many progressive changes around limited English proficiency policies and resources, but they have been inconsistently scattered throughout our nation. A comprehensive set of policies to guide federal and state agencies would facilitate the equitable access of services to families and children whose primary language is not English. Unfortunately, it is unlikely that this will happen in the near future, but that doesn't mean that individual states, cities, and agencies are unable to take the steps to efficiently serve their LEP population. As stated previously, it is a requirement that federally funded agencies provide LEP services. Examples of some of the services that should be provided by these agencies are investigations, in and out of home services, guardianships, adoption, preventative services, hearings, parenting skills courses, termination of parental rights, assessments, child removals, foster care, parent-child visitation, reunification services, counseling services, and child protective services. If you look at this map of the United States, you can see that Massachusetts is included in the list of top 10 states with the largest LEP population. Due to this, it would be beneficial for any agency that interfaces with its community to have detailed, comprehensive language access policies, whether or not they are required to do so by federal mandates. Some of the steps that cities and their human service agencies can take to improve their current policies or to begin planning, developing, or implementing and evaluating the processes are the first step is that an agency would benefit from assessing the extent of their obligation to provide LEP services. And they can do this by looking at the number or proportion of LEP persons eligible to be served or likely to be encountered by the program. Another way is that they can see what the frequency is with which LEP individuals come in contact with their agency or with their programs, the nature and importance of the program, activity, or service provided to people's lives, and the resources available to the grantee recipient and the cost. To determine what LEP population looks like in their states or service delivery geographical areas, states can utilize U.S. Census data, school system data, data from respective states or local government agencies, data from community agencies and organizations, and information from refugee and immigrant agencies. The second thing that agencies can do, they can evaluate their current language access policy provisions, and they can include any of the following provisions. So they can include auxiliary aids and services, identifying language preference is really important, documenting client need to language services is important, procedure for obtaining the interpreter, mandate to offer the language services, notifying client to right of language services, use of staff interpreters, staff training, including working with interpreters. So it is important that agencies look at their language access policies and make the changes or add-ons that need to be made in order to improve their language access policies so that they are more comprehensive. And the last thing that an agency can do and should do is to come up with a plan of how the policy is going to be monitored and evaluated for success in language access. Excuse me. One of the downfalls of many of the current policies, as stated by the National Center of Immigration Policy, is that of the agencies that have language access policies, few have specifics on monitoring and evaluating their language access programs and policies. Below are ideas on ways in which this can be accomplished. Implementation of an oversight committee to monitor progress can be something that can be done. An advisory committee made up of parents and professionals that are directly impacted by the policies. They would be able to provide valuable feedback, and it could make the policies more culturally inclusive. And also a use of a self-assessment checklist to evaluate the program delivery models. And there are some that are available online that agencies can utilize. Thank you, and I hope to see you all next semester or in the fall.